Hello, good morning, guten Tag, dobre ranko, Dagmar here. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm going to be, I don't know why this is exciting, but it's exciting communicating with people in the privacy of my own kitchen. So I'm going to be making a very simple little breakfast today. And I'm again wearing my kitchenware, including my dancing shoes. Why do I wear dancing shoes in the kitchen? Because, nourishing yourself, it's all about the body. It's about, what you're putting into your body is basically what your body will be made of. So, this red beet, this cauliflower, the cells of my organs will be made from that. I mean, how beautiful is that? So why not celebrate just the fact that I have a body and, allow myself to flow into the kitchen and use the body that I'm nourishing for something fun, like dancing. These shoes are great because they have they're smooth on the bottom, so you can slide and turn. Anyway, okay, so this is about making my breakfast. Today I'm going to do another omelette. So I blended the eggs, 2 eggs with just a little bit of salt, tiny bit. We don't want to overdo anything. We don't want to overdo the salt. We don't want to overdo the fat. You don't want to. The only thing you are free to overdo is the vegetables. Vegetables, you can pretty much just, eat as much as you want. You don't want to overdo the fruit either. It's the middle road, or, well, actually, it's not the middle road. It's your road. See, because you're the only authority on what works for you. I'm just sharing my daily routine and inviting you to try it. And if it feels right to you, no matter, if it feels right, then it feels right. But if it doesn't matter how authoritative I sound or anybody else sounds. You are the only authority when it comes to your health, vitality, and your connection to yourself. So I'm not really sharing with you an eating style. What I'm sharing with you, and hopefully, as the videos go on, it's an eating attitude. So keep that in mind. So now, for breakfast, I don't have much again in the kitchen. What I'm going to do is simply steam some cauliflower and some kale. 3 little things of kale I'm going to steam. And I'm going to then cut them up. Well, you'll see. So we turn on the steam. Put that in there. And I am drinking I drink 1.5 quarts of water to start the day. So I'm almost done. I like this. This was a French press, but it's a quart size and it's like a huge cup. So it works for me because that way I know how much I drink. This water has lime and lemon and some food grade vitamin C by Pure Synergy. I must take a sip. So the idea is you drink water, at least do the 8 glasses. I do 16. And Sophia Loren, I believe, does like 30 for the last 50 years. That's what I found out. That's what inspired me. Because she looks pretty damn good. I mean, yes, she may have had a little nip and tuck, but her skin, just looks pretty good for her age, I'd say. Or for anyone's age. So I'm steaming that. I'm going to put the cauliflower in there. And hopefully this will all be done at the perfect, you know, all synchronized. And I like to mix, whenever I make any vegetables, I mix raw with steamed. You know, I think it's all better raw, but my diet keeps changing, as you'll see, as my body keeps changing, you know. Sometimes I have a bigger butt, like right now I'm in my bigger butt phase, because I've been eating too many of my chocolates. Very easy to see how it increased. But then I, you know, shift my diet, and then things go to a different place. You know, it's just a daily thing. So here's the beet, which I mentioned before. You can actually just put a little on your cheeks, and it gives you that blushed look. I just grate some of it into the bowl directly where I will be eating it. I don't like it. I'm hunched. This thing is, how do I get to see so that you could see me and what I'm doing? Okay, so I'm just grating a little bit just for color, because I'm going to have green, white, and red in my breakfast, and then I'm going to have yellow from the eggs. So I'll have green, white, red, and yellow. Okay. And I can put a little beet. Give your lips a little natural color. If you're a girl, I mean. Okay, so now I will be using some Kerrygold butter to make the omelet on. And I will cut up some Amish Swiss cheese into it after it's done. Okay, breakfast is on the way. What else did I want to talk about today? Oh gosh. There's so many things to talk about. But sometimes, you know, I mean, sometimes there just isn't anything to say, you know. That's one of the attitudes that I think is very important for vitality, is being quiet with yourself when you're in the kitchen, meditating on a beautiful bowl of limes, and on life itself, you know, how it keeps going, how the cycle keeps going, and there's a beauty to that. Yeah, I guess this morning I'm feeling more pensive. Usually I'm all hyped up from having done my exercises, but this morning I look at the trees, there's a bird, a squirrel, there's a deer out there too. Okay, it's boiling. So now I will pour the eggs and once again use your hands. Use your hands because your hands are an extension of your heart. And heart, it's something you usually don't find in the cupboard as a recipe. Oh yeah, I'm going to put some. You don't need that because it's right there in your hands. So put your heart into your food, because that's what really makes it taste good. That's all the memories you have of good food. a big part of it is, you know, how grandma made it, or your mother made it, or your father. Yeah, there's that's the secret ingredient. Also, you know, where you source your food. Your meal is only as good as the food that you're working with. That's why I only buy organic. That's how I vote, by putting every cent that I spend in support of the amazing people who get up at 3 a.m., the farmers, the organic farmers, who are basically going to save all of our asses, because they're you know, they're doing things with integrity, and they're keeping Monsanto out of their fields. You know, it's getting harder and harder, and I just want to support them. And to me, where I put my money is how I vote. So I have not purchased any products that most people use for like the last 25 years. You know, like shampoos, deodorants, dishwashing liquid. You know, I only get things that I absolutely know are biodegradable and will leave the planet better than they find it, or you know what I mean. I make my own stuff. You know, I use essential oils, and I make my own dishwashing liquid, or my own, you know, body cleansing, or my own shampoo. I just use eggs, and they work really great. They actually even bubble a little when you use them. Okay, it's steaming now. Let's finish my water. Just adding a tiny bit to top it off. So I just turned the omelet around. Now I'm turning it off. I flipped the omelet. Now I'm just going to cut the cheese. Not that way. That's one thing, when you eat this way, you have no gaseous expulsions coming out of you, because you're eating foods that are properly combined, and you're not, you know, causing internal disturbances. I feel like this is a really boring video. I don't know, I just don't feel that talkative today. Maybe, I don't know. Oh well. That's the way it goes, you know? Sometimes you hit a home run, and you're, you know, espousing brilliant things, and sometimes you're just having one of those days. So my commitment, though, is to not edit anything, because I'm just inviting you into my kitchen and into my life and into my attitude. So if I were to not show you my various selves, that really wouldn't be in line with what I'm trying to do here. Let's see if this is ready. Yep. So I just steam it enough so that it still stays green, so it doesn't lose the greenness of the kale, and that the cauliflower is, you know, still a little crisp. You know, if I had done these videos, let's say 12 years ago, you would have seen me here eating raw meat. And so I'm just putting the cheese on top after I took it off because it's raw cheese. Again, we don't want to kill the enzymes in it. And probably, you know, you would have seen me eating raw beef and pretty much everything raw. I was eating raw fats, a lot of raw fats. But, you know, I would still do it. It's like you can have a different diet every day if you're listening to your body. So here's the omelet. Looking simple and, you know, a nice little meal. And now I'm going to take the vegetables. I'm going to take the steamed vegetables, cut them up with my ceramic knife. And I will put the vegetables into, with my hands, from my heart, into the bowl. And then I will also put, this is raw butter. It's pretty freaking amazing, from the Amish. So I don't want to heat it, so I'm just putting it into the cooled, slightly cooled vegetables, just a small amount. Don't want to, you know, I don't want to go crazy with anything. And sometimes you can go crazy with one thing if it feels like that's what you need. You know, there's a time for everything. Okay, so now I'm taking the cauliflower, putting it there into the plate, and I'm going to take just a dash of salt, my special salt, and then I will also take some dulse leaves. These are from, I get this from they're from the Atlantic Ocean. Since Fukushima happened, I have not been comfortable eating anything from the Pacific, anything from the sea over there. So I try to get, you know, as much as I can from the Atlantic Ocean when it comes to seaweed or fish. So now I'm just cutting up the dulse, and now I'm putting it into the bowl. And now I will do the special heart infusion hand technique, which basically, you know, it's like your hands and your heart, your feelings really, your essential self that lives at your core is now infusing. You're infusing and you're marrying all the ingredients. I know it looks kind of primitive and gross, but not really. I mean, it's just vegetables, you know, and the flavor is unbelievable. Now, I learned massaging kale when I was a raw foodist, which I, you know, one day will be again, maybe. You know, I would massage kale with like lime, lemon, and salt. And now I just continued massaging everything, even when it is cooked. So we have the raw beets mixed with the 2 cooked vegetables, and we have the dulse, which is loaded with minerals, and so is kale. So the idea is to have as much mineral content as possible. And then, of course, why would you wash all this away? I'm not going to, you have to, and that way you also know what it tastes like. Very good. I approve. Now, like I said before, these are my own hands, so I'm free to lick them. Actually, I have licked other people's hands before, too. I remember once, when I was in Los Angeles, in one of those she health food stores. At that time, I was really into durian, which is this very delicious but stinky fruit from Thailand, and it's very mushy and like it's like almost creamy. And somebody was making something with the durian no, it was Truth. His name was Truth. He was making some kind of a durian drink at this, one of those healthy, I forget what it was called. It was like, they called it the Truth Bar. It was at Erewhon's. And he was making, putting the durian into a cup with his hands, and then he was left with lots of it on his hand, and he's, I forget, he said something, he's like, well, somebody has to lick my fingers now. And I did. And it was worth it. It was delicious. Okay, so here's my breakfast. Voila. Now I will rinse my hands. I'm not a total primitive. So, thank you for joining me on this very mellow, calm morning. May your day also be mellow, calm, and beautiful.